Good morning, Bucknutters. It is Tuesday, May 16th, 2017. I am Dan Rubin. This is the Bucknuts Morning 5 and Change. Joined as always on Tuesday by Duane Long. It's 85 and sunny in Ohio today. The sun is shining, Duane, and it's a big day for Ohio and Ohio State as the number one outside linebacker in the state in the class of 2018. Toledo St. John's linebacker Dallas Gant will be making his commitment at 3:30 at his high school. We will have Bill Kurelic there with bells on for those who are wanting coverage. There will be video, there will be analysis, there will be stories, regardless of who he chooses. And obviously at this point in time, if you're a Bucknutter, you know that we feel very, very good about where Dallas Gant will end up. His crystal ball is currently 100% to the good guys. Duane, your thoughts on Dallas Gant? Let's assume he is going to be a Buckeye today, barring a unforeseen change. What would the Buckeyes be getting? And talk a little bit about Dallas.
Elite is the only word for it. The kid is just, he is a read, react, run linebacker of elite quality. I mean, he finds the ball and he gets there. The kid is very fast. Very fast, and he's a playmaker. You're seeing him. He's seeing stuff. I'm telling you, this kid's already reading offenses. There's no doubt about it. He's understanding. He's the keys that the coaches are giving him. He's studying them. He's ready to play football. About the only thing that you could even see as a possible negative is he's not the biggest kid, but Dan, this is a modern linebacker. The game has changed so dramatically, especially at the college level, more so than at the pro level, with all the spread offenses, and you got to have linebackers that can cover, especially the outside guys. They've got to be able to cover. They've got to be able to run. So, we're recruiting another kid like this one, a little bit smaller than what you're used to seeing. But kid's just a great-looking linebacker, and this is what you're going to see. More of these guys that are, right now 200 pounds, 210 pounds, instead of the 230-pound kids that we're used to seeing. We're going to still see those because there are some freaky kids out there that are that big and can run. I mean, we saw that with Baron Browning. But this is a huge get for us. It just stacks even more talent at linebacker for this program.
If you were to compare Gant to someone currently on the roster, who would it be?
Wow. Let me think about it. I would have to say Baker. That's the one guy that stands out. Just, a guy that you're always thinking maybe he'll add a little bit more weight. But he seems to be getting the job done. And here's the thing. We're just not having to worry about the run that much. Even teams that do run the ball, they're still pass first. That's college football these days. It's a pass first game. No doubt about it. So, Baker would be the one kid that I would say that Gant reminds me the most of. Just super athletic, fast kid. And this is an outstanding get for us.
I'm glad that you said Baker because we had not discussed that question. I would not make a good lawyer because you're not supposed to ask any question you don't know the answer to. But that was the name I had in mind. I liked Baker a little bit more in high school than I do Gant, but they both, I think, if you look at the pictures of them, back in the day we think this guy was coming here to play safety, and now these are the athletes on the field where you can say we could even move them to offense to get some H-back snaps out of them. I used to say that about Baker, but that's just what kind of athletes they are. It's a huge get. He looks strong to me, too. He may not be the biggest dude, but he's jacked. He's a fantastic player, and like we said, he's the according to 24/7 Sports, the number one rated outside linebacker in the country. If he maintains his overall ranking, which he's 23rd, that means he would end up being a 5-star player because they do the approach of the NFL, the 32 teams, et cetera. So Once again, we will have complete and total coverage of the Dallas Gant experience today. Bill Kurelic will be there. There was some concern down the stretch that he may have been thinking more about Notre Dame. Those fears have been alleviated. And like I said, we're talking about 100% crystal ball rating, including a crystal ball from Bill Kurelic. And Bill Kurelic is going to the announcement in Toledo, and Bill Kurelic lives in Columbus. So I don't want to say it's a slam dunk, but don't hang on the rim. Secondly, and this story didn't draw a ton of interest yesterday, but it did kind of draw mine, and because I get to choose the topics for the show, we're going to talk about it. Sam Hubbard has started to take snaps at outside linebacker. Now, why do we think this is occurring? Obviously, it's because of the depth. Duane, what's your opinion of this? Do you think this is something he could actually get some real snaps at, or is this just one of their, rainy day approaches?
Well, I think they're trying to figure out a way to get their best pass rushers on the field at the same time. And, you put him and you bring, how am I forgetting his name? Jalen Holmes on the field. You've got both of them at the same time. Okay, so you've got two of your better pass rushers on the field, and then the offense has to figure which one's coming. Are they both coming? I don't know what's going to, that's going to mess with the quarterback's head a little bit. That's going to have the offensive line trying to figure out what's going on. The center's going to be trying to line up his guys in the protection. You get this guy, you got this guy. Well, what if that guy's not coming? What if it's the other guy? What if they're stunting? We don't know what they're going to do. We haven't seen a lot of blitzing. Okay, well, maybe we're not going to see blitzing. Maybe we're going to see one of them coming, one of them falling back into coverage. We don't know that, and the offense doesn't know. That's the good thing. So I could see where that could be something that is very valuable to the defense. It just adds a dose of confusion to the blocking scheme. Quarterback doesn't know who's is the guy inside. Is he going to be in my lane that I'm trying to throw to, or is the guy on the outside going to be in the lane I'm trying to throw? I don't know. I don't know who's coming. That's what the quarterback's going to be saying, and that's what you want. You want him thinking about all kinds of other things except where his receivers are. I love the idea. It's just another twist.
Yeah, I agree. It's a great idea to try and figure out ways to get as many of these guys on the field, because any way you sit and look at the depth chart, there's going to be quality football players missing snaps. I mean, there's really a gluttony of talent up front, so that makes sense. I also think it's an easy thing to sell to Hubbard because it will make him more attractive come draft time to teams that use a 3-4 defense and maybe want to take a look at him as kind of that 3-4 outside linebacker. He is athletic enough to do that. Let's not forget Sam Hubbard started out as a high school safety. So I do think it'll be attractive to him in that respect, and I love the idea of getting more studs on the field. The last thing we're going to talk about, Duane, I know you're passionate about this. The early signing period was ratified, so now you're going to have an early signing period in football like basketball. And there is much debate on whether or not it's going to be good for Ohio State and the state of Ohio. Duane, the floor is yours on the latest.
Well, I love the idea. I'm not as happy about the execution. I don't understand December. It makes no sense to me. You're going to have an early signing period, which is just 5 weeks before the traditional signing period. This should have been done in August. That gives players the opportunity to get signed. They can just focus on their senior year of football and just their senior year in general. It's, one of the last great times of your life. You got to grow up and be an adult. And I loved my senior year of high school. It was just the best time. So, you have that aspect. Players get hurt. And you know what happens then? Their prospects dry up. Schools back away if they get injured. This way, they're already signed, no problems. It's a great idea. I just wish the follow-through would have been better. It should have been earlier. I don't understand. I would like for one of the people who made the decision explain December. That's the only thing that doesn't make sense. It gives the players a little bit more. August would give the players a little bit more right now it's going to be in the best interest of the team, December. And, of course, as a Buckeye fan, I like that. But, August would have been better. Now, the one thing that I think fans who are against this don't like about it is Urban Meyer has that thing where he flips guys. But my argument is that Urban Meyer is, any coach that does that, the players that they're going to be able to flip, they're not going to be signing in December. Those players are going to be undecided. Even if they are committed somewhere, if they got to know that date, they're going to be getting pressure to go ahead and sign. So they've got to make a decision at that point. Am I ready to sign, or am I thinking about changing schools? And it's going to be underway. It's not like that Meyer goes into January and starts trying to flip a player. He's trying to flip them right now if they're committed. As soon as they're committed, he's trying to flip them. So it isn't like that if in the December period there's going to be that many players that he possibly could have flipped that are not going. They're already going to be players that are thinking about it. So I'm not really worried about that.
Yeah, I would agree, and I think we'll end it there. But if there's any way to get an advantage in recruiting based on rule changes, et cetera, you have to believe that Urban Meyer and Mark Pantoni and stuff are ahead of the game on this. They have earned the benefit of the doubt when it comes to recruiting, and that my guess is this will end up working in Ohio State's favor, just like everything else does. We appreciate Duane stopping by. Again, do not forget, today is Dallas Gant Day, 3:30, Toledo. Bill Kurelic will be there. There'll be an open thread. There'll be coverage. Don't miss it, as the Buckeyes hope to add another elite player to the fold. Have a great Tuesday, Bucknutters.